Hello and welcome on 360 Sport on Trust TV. I am Adini Ajishafe. Let's look at some stories trending in the world of sport, starting from the home scene that has to do with Nigerian football. Club owners set up three-man committee to review NPFL rules and framework. Where a lot of rules and regulations are not going well with Nigerian football, they have to set up a three-man committee to review NPFL rules and framework. Well, we have three of them. They will be at least working together to see how they can change the rules, at least add or change the rules and regulations that are not going well with NPFL. Joining me to talk sport is Amechi Agbo. Amechi Agbo, you are there.
Yeah, Adeni. Good evening. How are you doing?
I'm very fine. Already, from the way it is, I can see you smiling. This is NPFL now. This is not European football. So let's talk about our own.
No wonder you said I shouldn't smile.
Well, recently, the club owners met with the Minister of Youth and Sport Development, and they also say, okay, 100%, they are in support of the 10-year football master plan that was newly at least accepted from the committee set up. But setting that aside, they set up a three-man committee headed by Basi that will be looking at the rules and regulation and the framework of the NPFL. Let's look at this. Do you think, even though NPFL, things are not really going well, with this rule and regulation and framework that they will be working on, will it change things in the way NPFL is run?
I read the communique and I saw absolutely nothing in the communique. And I think maybe they were just a group of guys that gathered together to have fun. How can you have an emergency meeting, whatever you called it, and there was no mention of the just concluded 2021 2022 NPFL season? There was no mention of the 2022-2023 season, which at least we should be expecting the kickoff, though the LFP said recommended the 13th of next month, which of course is not feasible. So instead of looking at the critical situation in the league, they are talking about framework. Framework to do what? There are millions of frameworks guiding the league. Who is following them? Who is obeying them? Who is implementing them? The whole issue in Nigeria entirely is not about laws, it's not about rules, it's about the willpower to implement the rules that have been made. So they set up a three-man committee with 2 weeks duration to do their work and submit to them. After the submission, what happens? So as far as I'm concerned, that communique is immaterial. There was nothing cogent said in that communique that concerns the Nigerian Professional Football League. And also, when you talk about club owners, who are the club owners? Are we talking about NPFL club owners? Are we talking about NNL club owners? Are we talking about NL club owners?
This time around is NPFL club owners.
And when you look at the NPFL club owners, you can see people whose clubs are playing in NNL being part of that club owner. The secretary of that team, the secretary of committee or whatever association they call themselves, his club is not playing NPFL. His club is playing NNL. What is he doing there? And he's the secretary. I don't want to mention the name, bro. So
okay.
what are we talking about? And he's not the only one. How can somebody who does not have the stake in a situation be a part of decision making and implementation in that situation? Are we really serious?
But I think he's the secretary of the, at least of the club owners.
Sorry?
I thought he's the secretary of the club owners.
That's what I'm asking now. If it is Nigeria Club Owners Association, then we should be able to have the club owners from NNL, NLO, and all that leagues, and MPL, NWFL, and the rest of them in that association. But when you look at that Club Owners Association, they should have added NPFL Club Owners Association. Then we know what they are talking about. But what I'm saying is, they did not look at the critical issues facing the league. One, there is no sponsorship. Two, our league is not on television for second season running. Three, referees' indemnities are not being paid. Four, why should home teams be the ones taking charge of referees' logistics in every match in the league? These are critical issues these men and women should be looking at, not sitting down under a cup of champagne and then you push out things that don't make sense to me.
Well, we've been talking with Amechi Agbo concerning the club owners having a meeting, and they chose three Nigerians, Akwa United chairman Paul Bassi and also Barrister, to at least see how they can get Nigerian football. The legal frame, talking about the rules and regulation, well, Amechi Agbo has not really gone down well with that. That has not gone down well with Amechi Agbo, rather, and he's saying, well, a lot of issues affecting our league and not even issue of rules and regulation. Now, let's divert a bit from the club's owner or thereabout. Amechi Agbo recently, talking about Nigerian Basketball Federation. This issue is becoming another thing. We talked about it actually talked about it in the morning, where we talked about MBBF. I'm digressing a bit, trying to hold a congress because they said the president, Musa Kida, and his vice, Babs Ogwan, they are running a two-man show, and they are not happy with this, and they want to be carried along with whatever decision is being taken concerning Nigerian basketball. And this is just not too good for, I still don't understand that federation.
Adeni, I feel like crying.
Don't cry.
Honestly, my heart is bleeding when I read that story about the proposed emergency meeting in Abuja today. And the members of the MBBF board are complaining that they are being sidelined. And then it is because of Musa Kida that Nigeria female basketball team, the G Tigers, lost their FIBA 2022 World Cup tickets they got on a platter by their sweat. It was because of Musa Kida that the Minister of Youth Transport did the unthinkable, the immature, unwise decision of starting or suspending, withdrawing, whichever term you want to tell it, Nigeria from basketball for 2 years just because of Musa Kida. Just because of Musa Kida. Our team went to FIBA Africa qualifier and we lost, and we ran away like a dog with our tail in between our legs. And then I feel like crying, my heart is bleeding. This is not the basketball we cut off. This is not the basketball we dream of. And my heart is bleeding because I always say it. Our athletes, our players are dying on the field, on the court, on the ring, anywhere, to reposition the image of this country globally, sporting-wise. But some, I don't want to use a particular word here, some people out there are just hell-bent in truncating the dreams and aspirations of these individuals. Where did we get it wrong? Musa Kida is being accused of running a one-man show, which of course is not hidden. It has been the system. And I think it was in your program one of those days that I said that why is it that our basketball players, teams, never for once, for the past 5 or 6 years, camped in Nigeria for any tournament? Why? Where are we getting it wrong? And now these people are just waking up. We lost a World Cup ticket we qualified for because of 2 individuals and no head rolled. What we're after is Nigerian football. Nobody cares about basketball. Our women fought, sweated, sacrificed, did everything and qualified for a World Cup. And one person, 2 individuals, one person, Sunday, that is sat down in his office and rubbished all the sufferings of these ladies. God will judge some people.
Well, we've been talking about basketball. It's just not too cool with the way that sport is going right now in Nigeria. Something must be done quickly to fix that federation issues here and there concerning leadership tussle. And it's not really going well with our basketballers. It's affecting them one way or the other. The Tigers, the Tigress, they are not having the feel of the day because of this issue the administrators have put forth to the fold concerning the dunk and slam sport that a lot of Nigerians really love. We hope something must be done concerning it. Well, Amechi Agbo, while we leave that aside. Let's get ourselves happy. Let's talk about the English Premier League fixtures will be coming up this evening, rather tonight. Let's talk about the fixtures. Matches will be coming up. Arsenal, the table toppers, the Gunners, they will be facing Aston Villa. And you have AFC Bournemouth against Wolverhampton Wanderers, Manchester City, Nottingham Forest, West Ham United, Tottenham Hotspur, and Newcastle United away to Liverpool. Let's take it. Arsenal, Aston Villa, Amechi.
It's a walkover.
Are you serious?
Unfortunately, this is not the right time for.
Are you serious? Walkover.
This is not the right time for. Yes, this is not the right time for. Yes, it's a walkover for Arsenal. This is not the right time for Aston Villa to meet Arsenal. Arsenal is in the best form of their life this season. 4 wins out of 4, and they are going for the 5th match today against a spiritually derailed Aston Villa. And I think Steven Gerrard is under immense pressure to deliver. It's either he delivers or maybe in the coming days we should be hearing about another sack, because the performances of Aston Villa since the league started is just very, very abysmal. They've not won anyone, and it has not been too good for them. Though they are not considered much, but a loss is a loss, and Arsenal is going to compound their woes today.
Okay, well, let's look at Liverpool. Newcastle. That's a match that, okay, you want to see what will Liverpool be doing against the let me call them new millionaires, Newcastle United against Liverpool. That match will be a big one at Anfield.
Yes, I was a bit surprised, slightly surprised or disappointed with Newcastle, despite their millions of pounds or wherever. They've not been too active in the transfer market, and even the ones they've been able to get, they are not high-profile players. I was expecting a revamp, an overhaul of the Newcastle system, since they have the money to throw around, just like what Chelsea is doing, though they are not buying the right players. So coming against Liverpool, that baptized Bournemouth 9-0 last match. I think they are going to be cautious. It's going to be a cautious game, and I see a draw in this match, perhaps 2-2.
A draw, Liverpool, Newcastle. Well, I would say you actually say that. Let's wait till that time. And Manchester City against newcomers, talking about Nottingham Forest. That's a big match there. We have 2 Nigerians, Awoniyi and Emmanuel Dennis. If they are given the chance, because last match both of them came as a substitute, but now this time around, if they are able to start, who knows? Maybe they could actually shock Manchester City. At least let me give myself some consolation there.
I think Nottingham Forest have not been able to find their rhythm. They just won a single match out of 4, and they are coming against the champions, so it's going to be a difficult one for them. But there have been another issue I have with them is that they have bought players more than they have. And most times when you have this avalanche of new players in your team, it's going to take a whole lot of time for them to blend, understand each other, and they're playing cohesion. So it's a testing ground for Nottingham Forest. But then, trust Eli Hallard and his soldiers, they are going to do them what they have been doing to other teams behind. But then, I could see a surprise here. Maybe Nottingham Forest could pull a surprise against Man City.
Who knows? Maybe it's possible. They could actually shock Pep Guardiola and the soldiers, you said. Well, for Wolverhampton and Bournemouth, that's a match that you were like, okay, whoever wins. It seems both of them are equal with the task. They know themselves. They are like mid-table teams. So let them play their game as they wish.
Hello.
Yeah, okay, you still have you there. And now let's quickly move straight to Italia Serie A. Matches will also be coming up in Italia Serie A. Let's talk about Italia Serie A fixtures quickly. As we look at those matches that will be coming up in Italy, we have Empoli, Hellas Verona, Sampdoria, Lazio, Fiorentina versus Udinese, Juventus. They play a 1-0 draw against Roma in their last game. They'll be facing Spezia, and you have Napoli, Victor Osimhen versus Lecce. Let's take it from Napoli-Lecce, looking at the issue surrounding Osimhen's either moving to Man U or staying or all that. Napoli-Lecce tonight.
Well, I think until this transfer deal window is short, we'll continue to have unsettled players. And when players are not settled, you are not going to get their 100% commitment, both on and off the pitch. But I think Osimhen has been a professional player. I think he has scored 2 out of 2, and it will not be surprising if he consolidates on that scoring pro against Lecce. So let's wait and see how it pans out. But then I am also expecting a shock news coming from that angle by tomorrow, because Man United is still not letting off their foot from the pedal in terms of pursuing Osimhen. And I also read that Cristiano Ronaldo's agent, Jose Mendes, have been even seeking to hand Ronaldo on a free transfer to Napoli, but then they need to decide on his wages and the rest of them. That is exactly where the problems are. So waking up tomorrow, or maybe on the early hours of what's it called, 2nd of September, to hear that Victor Osimhen has arrived at Manchester United, I wouldn't be surprised. But for now, he is a Napoli player, and we expect him to perform tomorrow. I mean, later this evening, this night, and maybe score more goals.
Okay, but looking at Juventus this season, they play 1-1 against Roma, and they'll be playing against Spezia, and like the way they allow Dybala to leave, and the same Dybala is banging in goals in Roma, seems Juventus right now, because they just have to up their game. At times, Italian Serie can be so unpredictable. Spezia, where a smaller team, when you want to talk about size or achievement, but they could pull up a surprise.
Yeah, I think since the coming of the Chinese guys that are bought over into the Milan clubs, I think we've been able to see a rejuvenated Serie A league. If you recall, for the past 8 years, it was regarded as a farmers league, because it was all about Juventus winning about 9 consecutive league titles. But now, the past 3 seasons have been fluctuating. No champion has been dominant. So it remains to be seen. But letting Dybala go, and the way he did, the way Juventus did, which of course the fans were never happy, I think was a very, very wrong decision from the Juve side. And they didn't just allow him go, they allowed him to join a direct rival, Roma, and you can see what he is doing with Roma. He has scored 3 goals already, and that's the counting. So Juventus have played 1 and drew 2 matches. They have 5 points, and they need to consolidate on that. And then playing a mid-table team Spezia, they have to be very careful, because what happened to Chelsea last night could be on the offing this evening.
Good one there. Now, quickly, our time is running. Let's quickly look at French League One, although well, it's always the big one for PSG. French League One fixtures that will be coming up this evening. Matches, about 10 matches there. PSG through, you can also call it a walkover if I want to borrow your word. Marseille, Clermont, and you have Lille, Nice, Lorient. We have Nigerians playing here. We have Moses Simon. Is also there in Nantes versus Strasbourg. Quickly, before we go to transfer story, Amechi, PSG Toulouse, just that one.
In a club, you have Messi, you have Neymar, you have Kylian Mbappe, who is a player director and the chief executive officer of that club. There has been an element of uncertainty within the trio, and then the issue of witchcraft, Pogba and the rest of them against Kylian Mbappe trending here and then, I think should also have a little kind of distraction. But then Mbappe is a professional, and I expect him to be 100% committed to the club today. But whether they're going to win this match, they just have to be very careful. When you are playing on quotes, a lonely rag team, you have to be very careful, because they'll prepare with everything they have to ensure that they get a result. If I see a shocker in this match, I wouldn't be surprised. But then it's all the way for PSG.
Well, we're talking about French League One there. Quickly, we run through transfer story before we wrap it up. Fulham hope to sign Willian, PSG Kusawa, and also Romain Kluivert and Marseille's Bamba Dieng. That's the story there. Fulham are trying to buy players to come to Craven Cottage. They want to go for Willian, the former Chelsea player. PSG Kuzawa and also Kluivert. Well, the way it is now, they have at least confirmed that Kuzawa has been, his case is settled. And you have Bamban Dieng there, Marcel, and also Williams. Still talking about transfer. Chelsea in talks to complete £77 million deal for RB Leipzig defender Josko Vadio. They want to get him for 77 million, and then they will loan him back to Leipzig. What a way to do business. And Manchester United will let Wan-Bissaka leave if loan move for Barcelona's Sergio Dest succeed. If he succeed against Sergio Dest, then they allow Wan-Bissaka to leave. Amechi Agbo, just one of them. Chelsea in talks to complete £77 million deal for RB Leipzig defender Josko Vadio.
Misplaced priority. You don't have a striker and you are going for a defender. Disappointing.
Very disappointing, right, for you?
Yes.
Maybe he wants to be parking the bus like Mourinho used to do.
And funny enough, you are going for a striker, you are paying that staggering amount, and you are loaning him again. If you don't have money where to use that money for, please put it to charity organizations and support those needy. It will go a long way. Not throwing money around. That's not how to do business. Since this lady in Chelsea left, I think it's been a hazardous patch. I want to use that word. Transfer dealing for Chelsea. Just too sad for that club.
Okay, good one there, Amechi Agbo. We want to appreciate your time with us, even though you seem to be angry with Chelsea and even, well, nevertheless, we just have to talk sport. It's always business and fitness. Amechi Agbo, thank you very much.
Adeni, it's always a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Good one there. Well, that's a nice one with Amechi. Now, I am Adeni Ajishafe. Thanks for watching.